Epic Showdown. Fernandez triumphs over Cirstea to face Mboko in thrilling Hong Kong semifinal. The neon pulse of Hong Kong flickered across Victoria Harbor as the night breeze carried the unmistakable electricity of something extraordinary unfolding at the 2025 Hong Kong Open. From the rooftop lounges overlooking the venue to the crowded walkways buzzing with spectators, the entire city seemed to vibrate with shared anticipation. Leylah Fernandez was back, and she was playing some of the most fearless tennis of her career. But what truly ignited the tournament flame was the match that left fans breathless, stunned, and on their feet long after the final ball landed. Fernandez versus Cirstea, a clash of grit versus guile, youth versus experience, relentless speed versus raw firepower. At the end of this epic showdown, Leylah emerged victorious, earning her spot in a blockbuster semifinal against a rising force of Canadian tennis, Victoria Mboko. Yet the story of this triumph, and the path to the thrilling semifinal, was not merely about tennis. It was about heart, legacy, momentum, and the fierce belief that even in a world full of giants, a warrior can rise. The build-up, a match everyone didn't know they needed. When the quarterfinal lineup was announced, whispers spread fast. Cirstea versus Fernandez? That could get wild. Cirstea's experience is dangerous. Leylah is in form. This is going to be a battle. And they were right. Cirstea, the Romanian veteran, walked into the tournament with quiet confidence. At 35, she had seen every style, every strategy, every rising star who thought they could run her over. But Cirstea wasn't merely holding on, she was thriving. Her 2025 season had been a renaissance, marked by tactical brilliance, heavy ground strokes, and an iron mentality forged from 2 decades on tour. Across the net stood Leylah Annie Fernandez, the 23-year-old Canadian lefty known for her fearless competitiveness, heart-on-sleeve passion, and ability to turn any match into an emotional epic. She didn't overpower opponents. She dismantled them through angle, speed, and relentless pressure. This match wasn't just a quarterfinal. It was a collision of 2 warriors who refused to back down, a first set of fire and fury. From the first ball, the intensity was unmistakable. Cirstea opened with booming winners that echoed off the stadium walls. Her forehand crackled with authority, painting corners with laser precision. She wasn't just attacking. She was dictating every rally, pulling Leylah wide, forcing errors, and stepping into the court with fearless conviction. Fernandez, by contrast, played the long game, probing, adjusting, absorbing. She chased down balls that should have been winners. She redirected pace like a magician bending light. But Cirstea's early momentum was overwhelming. At 3-1, Leylah found herself cornered, breathing hard, her coach urging her to loosen her shoulders. Then came the moment that shifted everything. A 23-shot rally, one of those rallies that hone in on the spirit of tennis itself. Cirstea pounded the ball corner to corner, but Leylah refused to yield, sliding, sprinting, defending like her life depended on it. Finally, on the 24th shot, Leylah smacked an inside-out forehand winner that lit the crowd on fire. Cirstea stared in disbelief. Leylah pumped her fist, chest rising and falling like a boxer ready for round 2. The stadium roared. And just like that, Leylah's spark ignited. But Cirstea remained composed. She broke again with a stunning forehand return and closed out the set 6-4. Her fist clenched like steel. The veteran had landed the first blow. Second set, the rise of the lefty storm. The second set began differently, subtly but critically. Leylah's footwork sharpened. Her returns grew deeper. Her confidence sparked. She started reading Cirstea's patterns, not reacting, but anticipating. Her left-handed angles began carving the court open as if she were drawing new dimensions with her racket. At 2-2, the floodgates burst. Cirstea attempted a down-the-line backhand, a shot she'd been hitting flawlessly all evening. But Leylah was ready, darting to the corner and counter-punching with a blistering cross-court forehand that clipped the line. Cirstea barely saw it. Leylah didn't celebrate wildly. She simply nodded, sensing the shift. And then came her trademark move, the inside-in forehand sprint, the shot that sends crowds into chaos. Break, hold, double break. Suddenly it was 5-1, Fernandez in full flight, her energy radiating across the court like electricity. She closed out the set 6-2, sealing it with an ace, the rarest, most satisfying punctuation mark for a player known more for precision than power. The stadium shook. Everything was even. Final set, a war of wills. The third set was not tennis. It was poetry. It was theater. It was a duel written in sweat, strategy, and courage. Cirstea regained her fire, hammering winners down the line. Layla answered with ridiculous defense that turned into offense in an instant. They traded breaks, traded screams, traded points that made even the commentators breathless. At 3-3, the match reached its fever pitch. Cirstea broke Layla with a forehand that landed like a cannonball. The veteran yelled toward her box, shaking her fist, believing the momentum was hers. But Layla walked calmly to her bench, took a slow sip of water, and whispered, "Not today." When she returned to the baseline, something in her eyes had changed. She played with ferocity that bordered on spiritual. She broke back with sharp angle backhand winner, held serve with 3 unreturnable deliveries, and at 5-4, she reached match point. The final rally was a masterpiece. Cirstea blasting the ball at 100%, Layla chasing, absorbing, redirecting, and finally, unleashing a down-the-line forehand that froze the Romanian in place. Game, set, match, Layla Fernandez. She dropped to her knees, the stadium erupting. Cirstea walked to the net with dignity, offering a warm hug. 2 fighters, 1 victor, a match worthy of legend. The crowd's reaction, fans on their feet. Hong Kong is a city that loves drama, beauty, and brilliance. The city holds its breath. By the time the sun set over Hong Kong and the skyscrapers glowed like diamonds, the entire city seemed abuzz with anticipation. Billboards flashed Layla and Mboko's faces. Fans lined up outside the venue long before the gates opened. Social media exploded with predictions, debates, excitement. The quarterfinal between Fernandez and Cirstea had been a masterpiece, but the semifinal? It was shaping up to be unforgettable. A battle for Canadian pride, a duel of contrasting styles, a collision of 2 players whose destinies were woven into the future of the sport. Hong Kong wasn't just hosting a tournament. It was hosting a moment, the final word, a match that defined the tournament. Layla Fernandez's triumph over Serena Cirstea was more than a win. It was a declaration, a reminder, a roar, that a champion's heart never fades. That passion grows stronger under pressure, and that sometimes the most thrilling tennis comes when experience and youth collide in the fire of competition. Now, with Victoria Mboko waiting across the net, the world prepared for a semifinal that would define the Hong Kong Open. 2 Canadians, 1 dream, a city watching, a sport celebrating, and Layla Fernandez, breathing deeply beneath the bright Hong Kong lights, ready for one more war. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.